If you've been wanting to get a talent agent, let's talk. First and foremost, you really have to make sure that you're ready. So go through and audit your social media, have your friends and mentors look at your reel, make sure that your headshots are readily available or that you have the funds ready to go to get new ones immediately after signing. Now, with that being said, if you are ready to take that next step right now and actively start pursuing agencies, research is number one. Now, if you're a dancer, your research is probably going to be pretty quick. To be honest, there are only like 6 of us agencies with a primary focus in dance. But if you are an actor or a model, obviously your choices are going to be much more infinite, so your research is going to take you a lot longer. Now, honestly, usually it's pretty difficult to research agencies. Not many agencies are as open as somebody like me. But you know what all of us do always post about? Our bookings. So go ahead and start there. Overall, I think agencies kind of tend to have their hands in everything. But there are some dance agencies specifically who tend to get more Broadway bookings or who get more tour and artist-facing bookings, and agencies like us who get a ton of commercials. Again, that's not to say that we don't have our hands in other things and get other auditions and bookings. My agency specifically, we do get music videos, theater, all of that. But you still should take note of the types of bookings and whether or not they align with your specific goals. I would recommend asking around as well. So if it's a large agency, you probably already have friends or even acquaintances who are already signed with them and they can give you real insight. Or if it's more of a boutique agency, check out their roster and then send a DM or two just asking. Okay, so now that you have a list of agencies that you want to target, you really have to figure out the best way to submit to them. Please, please, please listen. This is the most important step. Some agencies blacklist if you email them cold. So you really need to be smart. If they have a submission form open on their website, please just use that. Now, me personally, I don't blacklist based on emails alone. But I will say that my submission form is there for a reason. It's because it has all of the information that I need in order to make a decision about you. So if you just email me your resume and your reel, I don't know your age, I don't know your location, your Instagram, whether or not you're already represented or managed. I made the mistake of entertaining an email years ago. And after a few exchanges, I found out that they were already represented and they were looking to leave their current agency and come to mine. Now, if you don't already know this, I'm going to tell you, poaching clients is the cardinal sin in the entertainment industry. So I learned my lesson right there. So for me, if I'm going to converse with a potential talent, I need a completed form from them, period, end of story. Now, if the agency that you're looking into doesn't have a form, see if they have instructions somewhere else. Usually on their website, they provide like an email. Usually it's like submissions@whateveragency.com. And actually, some will also say, we don't accept unsolicited submissions. If it says that, please respect that. This is how you get blacklisted. Now, if they don't have a form, they don't have instructions, and they don't have a no solicitation note, then this is pretty much the only time that I would suggest that you try to send an email. However, do not cold send all of your materials. Just simply ask them how to submit. Something along the lines of, I love your agency for whatever reasons you want to put, and I would love to submit. Can you please let me know if you are considering new talent, and if so, how can I submit? Now, follow-ups. You can send one follow-up, but then you leave them alone. Do not send 2, do not send 3, do not send 5 emails to these people. If they're interested, they'll reach out, and if not, you have to let it be. Now, one last submission method that I wanted to talk about is in-person/scouting events. Honestly, in-person auditions are few and far between nowadays. So if you see one, jump at it. Even if it's not the agency that you see yourself with, just go. It's a really good opportunity. But if you don't come across any in person during your search, scouting is a little bit harder to track, but there are so many opportunities out there. So this is why your training is so important. Many classes have scouts that are lurking in the back of the room. You may not know that we're there, but I promise you we are, and honestly, pretty frequently. Some teachers actually advertise that an agent from whatever agency will be there scouting, so that's kind of another little research project that you can give yourself. I also know that teachers regularly give out recommendations. So if you've been training with somebody who has a good reputation for a while now, and you're ready to take that next step, then go ahead and open up that conversation with them. I will say, me personally, I have signed a handful of people simply because somebody with a lot of clout in the industry has recommended them to me. So that is an option as well. Okay, now if you have made it this far, I'm going to tell you one more secret. If you can book a project on your own, you can use that as leverage to get you signed. I have heard of other people doing this at other agencies, but a couple months ago, I actually had a client leverage me. Now, I originally signed her for specialty because her hoop and her fire skills were absolutely insane. But at that exact time, I just didn't personally feel like her dance was strong enough. And then like 8 months later, and lots of training, she ended up booking a tour and she was like, here's my contract, sign me for dance now, please. Obviously, she did it a lot more eloquently than that, but the sentiment remains. You know, at the end of the day, it's like, boom, here, I told you that I could produce for you, now here's the proof. Now sign me for dance and let me show you what else I can book for you. It's really, really powerful. So, long story short, honestly, there are so many ways to get represented, and nobody likes to hear this, but sometimes it is just divine timing. Maybe I have to pass on your ethnicity or your hair color or your height right now, but keep submitting because 3 months from now, you might be the perfect fit for me. Or maybe you just happen to stumble into a class where there is a scout there. Or maybe you just have somebody who's in your corner and they can pull some strings for you. You just never really know, honestly. But at least now you know that there are some options out there and other avenues that you can take. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. And as always, leave a comment if you have a question or maybe just a general topic that you'd like me to discuss next week.